All right, you guys, today I'm going to talk about poppers. First of all, I just want to say, at the timing that I'm filming this, today it is March. You're seeing snow and ice everywhere.
That's weird.
I am not going to be catching fish on a popper. I just want to be really clear about that. Do not expect any fish catches, but expect some solid tips. And before I get into the tips, maybe some tricks, I just want to say thank you for checking out the channel and specifically this video. And if you haven't already, go check out Aggressively Average Anglers. My name is Paul. My buddy Jeff is behind the camera, and we are...
Hi.
And we are the Aggressively Average Anglers, AAK the Nerds. But we do a lot of cool stuff too, like this. We do tips, tricks, unboxings, fun fishing videos, and everything in between. We have lives as well, so go check us out. Let's talk about the poppers. First, I'm going to show you 3 kinds of poppers. It's really, it's easy to like take for granted different types of poppers, but really they all do different things very, very well. This is the Monster Bass popper. This actually is, I know this is gonna sound so cheesy because I'm on the Monster Bass channel here. This is actually my second favorite popper. The Rebel Pop R is my favorite. This is my second favorite. This thing walks really well. We'll show you that in a second, but it pops really well. And I love the size. This medium size crushes every kind of fish out there. And again, it does a lot of different things really well. So that's one type, this like sort of medium size. It looks more standard popper. Next, you're gonna get your larger poppers. This is the Poppy McPopface from 13 Fishing, but you're gonna notice a couple things. Much more aggressive mouth, a little bit deeper cup to the mouth there. It's got the treble, which we like with the feathers, but it's a much larger profile. These usually are a ½ ounce or 3/4 of an ounce as a standard size for these larger poppers. Then you're gonna see the old school. This is the Hula popper. You can see, why is your car so squeaky? It's got a flat face, a really shallow cup. These are best for shorter casts, for staying way up high in the water column and making a big, it's like a bloop sound. They make a big bloop sound. They don't throw as much water, but they do a really good job if you have a targeted spot that you want to hit. These stay in that spot really, really well. That's the Hula popper. Well, this is actually the 2.0. That's why it looks totally nuts, because this is the 2.0 and it just gets mega nuts. All right, so what I'm trying to do here is I'm gonna show you 3 different ways that you can fish a popper. I'm gonna use this one as the example because it does a lot of them really well. Let's go to the water and do that right now.
I'm pretty sure what you want to see when you go fish a popper is this right here. This is a good sign that you're gonna catch a lot of topwater fish out here.
All right, so the first retrieve I want to show you, there's nothing I can do about this one. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to show you my favorite retrieves. The first one, if you're seeing this video in like May, June, the sort of getting into the height of summer, is the quick retrieve with a stop. So what you're going to do is you're going to give your rod a couple of twitches. You're going to skitter it across the water really fast, pause for 1 to 3 seconds. Vary up the pauses. You are going to get slapped on the pause. The fish are going to get used to seeing the skitter, 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 and then the stop. They're going to be watching it. They're going to see that 2 or 3 times, and on that last, maybe 3rd, 4th one, right when it pauses, they're waiting for it. That's when they're going to slap. The next one I want to show you is the pop pause. This is standard. This almost makes sense, but I'm just going to show it to you because it's really, really important. I know this seems so simple, but that is the one that you're going to use the most often. This is the one I use around docks. Pop pause. If you're around docks or you think you see a spot where you're really confident there's a fish, extend that pause out. Let the ripples get completely away from the lure before you pop again. Again, the fish is doing the same thing as the skitter and the stop. They're waiting for that pause, they're watching it, and that's when they're gonna hit it. So the pause is actually you fishing. What's nice about docks is that you can pop, you're getting a big splash, you're calling fish in, but then it stays right in the strike zone for a really long time. The last one I want to show you is a walk. I'm looking for a side-to-side motion. Not every popper can do this, but the Monster Bass one can. The trick here is use a loop knot. That is, and then also look for a popper that has that feather treble, the rear treble. That's going to give it a subtle walking action. This is my probably second favorite one. So that walking action, that side-to-side motion, really tough to do here in the waves 2 feet from shore, but it is one of the most subtle ways to pick up a fish if you're trying to, you see a spot, but it's like a small spot and you just try to walk it by it, but give it the extra action. That is one of my favorite ways to do it. A lot of times you're gonna be rear treble hooked. Use a spinning rod, light line, with that loop knot, and that's gonna give you that walk in action. So last thing, I wanna do a couple tips on what gear to use. If you're using a smaller to medium sized popper, like a Rebel Pop R or this Monster Bass one, the smaller ones, use spinning gear. You're gonna get really accurate casts, and you're gonna be able to work that lure really, really well, very precisely. If you're using one of these bad boys right here, go ahead and use a medium medium, fast action bait casting rod. The bait caster is going to give you the power for sure, but you don't need to horse these fish in. These are treble hook baits. You want a softer tip rod. So that's why I like the spinning gear quite a bit. And that's why I also like the medium action rod. That's gonna get you set up no matter what you retrieve to catch those fish on a popper. Popper's great for fishing most of the year, not necessarily for the dead of winter, but for most of the year, there's always a place for a popper. Break one out, use these tips, and go catch some fish. Again, thanks for checking out this video. Thanks for checking out Monster Bass and the Aggressively Average Angler channel. And have yourself an awesome time catching fish with a popper. See ya.